Big one. Dude, I have not even seen one this big in a long time. Freaking first bite I've had of the day too. Oh my God. What's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Darian is Fishing. Today I'm super excited to get on a lake because it's the first really cool night we've had in pretty much all year since the springtime. We woke up this morning and it was probably low 60s, maybe even in the 50s. And right now it's probably still like in the low 70s. And yesterday at the same time, it was 98 degrees. So probably a 20-degree difference in the summertime moving into the fall. It helps the fish. It triggers them. They start biting really good. And this whole week we've got a lot of cold weather coming. So I'm looking forward to the changes that's going to make on the lake. And I plan on going and throwing, and you know how this works. Something always happens with what I'm planning on doing, but Rayburn Ghost, this is a Crush 100X, or actually it's a 100S for silent. I'm planning on going and throwing this, and I've also got a jerkbait tied on the same exact color. This is my favorite color recently. It's called Rayburn Ghost. That's in the Provoke jerkbait. But anyhow, I'm just going to go take these two rods. I'm going to go fish simple. I hope they're feeding. I imagine they're feeding on shad pretty good. So I'm going to go fish around some grass, some points, and see if this cold weather has affected the fish in a positive way so that maybe I can catch some. Finally got the boat back, by the way, so there's going to be not as many pond videos and kayak videos coming up. And then one more thing I did want to mention, if y'all follow me over here, I'm doing a giveaway with all this stuff right here. So basically, not like just this one table, right? It's all kind of stuff. I got a life jacket in here. I'm gonna give this stuff to one person. I'm gonna give this stuff to somebody else. I've got a quantum reel, got some swim baits, a bunch of jigs. I got a ton of crankbaits, a frog, a mag draft, some bass trick swim baits, all kind of goodies. And all this is gonna be yours. All you have to do to be eligible to win is subscribe to my channel, comment anything down below about bass fishing for your chance to be eligible to win some of this stuff. I'm gonna pick a winner. It'll probably be on Wednesday's video. So y'all are watching this, it's Monday. On Wednesday's video, I'm gonna pick a winner. So comment, subscribe for your chance to win this stuff. But as for now, we're gonna get out of the water. All right. Big one. Oh my God, this is a absolute freaking giant. Oh my God. Oh, don't come off, don't come off, don't come off, don't come off. Oh, dude, I have not even seen one this big in a long time. Oh my God, this is a freak giant. Oh, that fish just smoked this crankbait and took off. That's the freaking first bite I've had of the day too. Oh my God. Oh. What a freaking tank. I can't even get him on hook right now. Hang on. Dude, that was insane. What a giant. I told y'all this freaking color is my absolute, I don't know what it is, but I have been catching so many fish on it. I'm gonna guess that he weighs at least 6 pounds at the very, very, very minimum. I'm seeing 615 a lot. All right, I'm going with 615. All right, I just caught this absolute tanker, weighs 6 pounds, and I'm gonna release her now. Very quick release. Oh, get on out of here, big beauty. And there she goes. Dude, that was freaking sick. Well, I'll say that's a good way to start the episode. Literally, that was the very first fish that I've caught. It was actually been kind of slow start, much slower than I thought it would. That fish freaking hit so hard and took off with that crankbait. Again, I was saying earlier, I love that color. I got it in the Provoke and that 100S. Oh, dude, that one was so big. Like, I haven't caught a 6 pounder in a while, and he would be. I'm not gonna lie. He had me a little shook. So I want to get back in there, see if I can catch another one of those hammers, because that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm gonna jump back into it. Also, if you want to buy anything 6 cents, if you want that crankbait, you can get 10% off. Use the code DC10 at checkout. I'll put the link to all that and the code in the description box down below. I'm just throwing this square bill. It's a 100 size, similar to a 2.5. I'm just throwing it over submerged grass. You can see I'm in 6 foot of water, but the grass is up to 3.3. So just over 3 foot of water. I'm gonna hit spot lock right there, where I caught that last one. Dude, that was sick. I just got bit again. I just got 2 bites, like right there in a row, right by the boat. And that fish bit by the boat too. I wonder if I need to back up a little bit. Oh, dude, that one right there had me shook. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's the hardest bite on a crankbait that I have had in a long time. He hit it so freaking hard and just took off with it, almost like a striper. Like when you catch a striper and you just instantly know that it ain't a bass because they just take off so hard. That right there is what you call don't suck. Always remember, it's extremely important when you're doing this, whether you're throwing a crankbait or a swim bait or rattle trap or, I don't know if I said chatterbait, but chatterbait, how important it is to rip your bait out of that grass. You don't want, you're gonna have grass on your bait, but you wanna rip that sucker off and rip it out of the grass as quickly as you can. As soon as you realize that you got grass on there, rip it off, because if there is fish around the area and you've got a 10-inch long trail of grass on the back of your crankbait, you are not going to catch jack dick. I can't say that. You're not going to catch jack crap. So you want to make sure, and that's where the sensitivity of the rod comes in, is because you want to make sure you can feel that grass. And I might rip it, like literally I might rip 10 times on one cast, but I know that I'm in the right area, and just retie a bunch. Because sometimes, I mean, every time you rip like that, I'm sure it damages the knot some because you're ripping it so freaking hard. But if I can rip this bait that many times and keep it in the strike zone and catch big ones, you best believe I'm gonna retie freaking 20 times. There's nothing worse than a cast coming back like that, because you could have ripped all that grass off. Right there, could have ripped off, and that definitely could have ripped off. So basically the main deal that I'm doing is I'm just fishing humps, and there's nothing really special about the humps. It's more that just making as many casts as you can make, fan casting all over the hump, and there's grass on the humps. So nothing too special, nothing too fancy, just working the bait as fast as you can work it, slowing it down when you feel like you're in kind of a sweet spot area, but more than anything, just covering a lot of water. I'm making a bunch of casts, and once I get a bite, whether I catch the fish or I feel like I hit something other than just being grass, or I got a bite or whatever it is, I'll hit spot lock and make sure I throw on that exact same spot again. And I've been throwing on them several times actually, not just making one more cast, but especially on a lake where they school up really good. And the Tennessee River is probably the #1 example of a place where fish school up heavy like this, but they get schooled up so good that you can catch, like even on a hump. When you think of a school and someone, you hear someone talking about fishing these big schools of fish, you think of ledge fishing. You automatically just naturally think of ledge fishing, but that is definitely not the case. These fish on the Tennessee River especially, they school up in 1 foot of water. I mean, literally you can catch 4 or 5 fish making the same cast in a foot of water certain times of the year, not all the times of the year, but it's very, 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 very important to make multiple casts to the exact same spot, because you never know. I've seen it time and time again where you catch more than one fish, and if you're used to fishing a lake where they don't school up, then you never probably make that same cast again. But very important to make the same cast and just try to catch more than one fish. I mean, if you catch 10 fish off of it, why wouldn't you? Little tiny one. I mean, the tiniest of all the fish. Mother of God, dude. That's what you call right there, an annoying fish. Oh. Don't y'all hate when they keep flopping like that? He crushed it when it was just sitting still. I mean, crushed it. Oh, there's another one. Another little tiny one, but that's 2 casts in a row. Right there, there's an eddy. So as I was coming back, let me unhook him before I start talking. So I was literally headed out to go home, and as I idled under this bridge, I noticed there was current moving through it. So I stopped and just fished the side that's not facing the current. I don't know what you call that, the inside. And I just got off one of these points where there's making a little eddy, and literally my first 2 casts, I caught one. They're tiny. If I had probably a football jig or a swim bait or something, I'd probably catch a bigger one, but I don't, so I'll just keep throwing my jerk bait. Let's see if I can get another one of them. They're crushing it on the paws. Alright, got my crankbait hung up on a rock down there. So I'm going to do the slingshot, what they call the slingshot, to get your crankbait free. So you grab your line right here, drop your rod down, and use your rod tip as a plug knocker. And when your rod tip touches your bait, it comes free, just like that. It's the easiest way to get your crankbait out. If you do it slow and kind of just be careful, you won't damage your rod tip at all. It just knocks the bait free, so works pretty good. While my boat was in the shop, I took all my rods out and I cleaned all my reels, I cleaned all my rods, and just kind of got cleaned up, getting ready for the fall. And you know, gonna use some new tackle and some new rods and reels and line and everything. I just wanted to get cleaned up, get a fresh start to the fall, because I don't hunt, so I fish heavily through the fall and into the winter, and maybe in January, like January, I kind of slow down a little bit, but then picks back up again in February really good. So don't really slow down too much for like the colder months, but so yeah, I just like to get reset and just get cleaned back up, because there's a lot of good fishing in the fall. But I have this problem every year where, like, in the summer, you know, the springtime and the summertime, you have these reels that you spooled up, and you're using bigger line, and 18 and 20 pound line, and then you get to the fall and to the winter, and you're supposed to downsize your line, but you're always too lazy because you're fishing, or you got a tournament coming up, or just whatever it is, so you don't feel like doing it, so you never do. So you end up throwing, it makes you end up throwing, being lazy, and you throw like a little topwater or something that you should be done on smaller line, but you're too lazy, so you end up throwing on a bigger line. The way to beat that is just take all your stuff off everything and start over for the fall. So anyhow, that kind of wraps up today. I did want to share one last time this crankbait, and I bought several of them recently. It's an extremely good bait. It's become one of my new favorite colors, and that is Rayburn Ghost. It's made by 6 Cents. This is the Crush 100X, but it's silent, so I think they call it 100S. But anyhow, 100 size crankbait. It's basically like a 2.5. Dives down to about 4 foot from what I can tell. Really good looking color, and it's become one of my favorites. And one of the reasons that I'm liking it so much is because, to the best of my knowledge, no one else makes this color. Like, it's not a Strike King color that everybody else uses, or it's not a old Lucky Craft color that everybody else uses, or, you know, an old Rapala color that everybody else uses. I think that's a 6 Cents color. Like, I don't know of any other baits that are that color. So that's one thing I feel like not a lot of people have that color. And so 6 Cents has it in that 100X. They have it in one of the Thud, like one of their rattle traps, like a Thud, I think they have it in. They just came out with it in that color. And then they have it in the Provoke, which is the jerkbait. I think they might only have it in the 100X and the Provoke. I'm not positive about that, but it's a color that I really, really love. I've been catching a bunch of fish on it. I haven't like smashed them on it, but I haven't smashed them on anything recently. The fishing's starting to get good, as you can see from that giant I caught today, but it's not perfect yet. And so, you might have those days where you catch 1 or 2 fish, but they might be a big one. Or you might have a day where you catch, 8 or 10 fish, and you might catch a big one, or they might all be little ones. There's kind of a weird time where they're not all grouped up together yet feeding, but it's close. It's super, super close. The weather that we're getting this week, I'm really looking forward to. At the end of this week coming up is the Big Bass Tournament, Gerald's Big Bass Tournament on Gunnersville. So I'm gonna fish that one. It's a 3-day tournament. It's your one biggest fish, and you can weigh in every hour. You can weigh in multiple times an hour. They pay every single hour. First place is $1,000. So several guys will weigh in, 4-pounders, 5-pounders, 6-pounders, all weekend long, win several $1,000s. And the first place prize is a brand new boat for, normally it takes around an 8 to 9 pounder to win. Sometimes it takes a 7.5 pounder, but mostly around that 8 pound mark to win the tournament. So I'm super excited about that. I've got a couple places that typically are big fish holes that I don't fish a lot. So I'm very, very excited about it. I've got the giveaway going on right now, so don't forget about that. Comment anything about fishing down below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to win. I'll announce the winner of that on Wednesday's video, so don't miss out. Yeah, I think that's about it. So without further ado, I will see you guys on the next one.